This is the Survivor Journals, a new audio drama series written and produced by Neilson, a compilation of stories from the viewpoints of the survivors of a zombie infection. Close the curtains, lock the doors. This is the pilot episode, the beginning of a nightmare that will engulf the entire world. I present to you the Survivor Journals.
Good evening. If you're just joining us, we have breaking news to report right now out of the Kingstown area in Alexandria. We understand that Van Dorn Street is blocked right now by overturned cars, and reports are still coming in from police, but apparently I'm being told it is a zombie attack.
Actually, I am being told that we have some breaking news. We are receiving unconfirmed reports of random acts of bizarre behavior and mass confusion from all over the city. Details are scarce at this time. There's been no official statement from Kearney Police Department as to exactly what's happening. We will continue to bring you the latest in these special reports.
America got hit first. Where it came from, nobody knows. It took just 1 week for the virus to spread across the world. It was as though this infection was intent on wiping out humanity. First it would kill its victims, then, in a bizarre twist of fate, reanimate them into walking vessels of flesh-eating monsters. I'm staring out my window, and I see them every single day. My name is Isaac. I live in England, and this is my story.
5 days ago, my parents left for work. That's when the infection came. I'm alone, too scared to leave the house. I keep the curtains drawn and put my headphones in my ears. The music drowns out the sound of the zombies. My name is Lily. I live in England. I'm 14 years old, and this is my story.
Wherever you are, whatever you're doing to stay alive, just know you're not alone.
I sit here watching the creatures go by. Some walk slow and others run at frightening speeds. I'm not sure how I'm going to survive this. I don't even know if I have the strength. My name is Katrina, I live in England, and this is my story.
Yes, zombie attack in Alexandria. Specifically, we're talking around the Van Dorn Street area. We're told that officers are on their way right now to take you to safety. So, again, please take all precautions, stay inside, and keep it right here for the very latest on this zombie attack.
Now, I love zombies, or used to, until they stood outside my house moaning and groaning. This virus has spread so quick, nobody stood a chance. Luckily, I was in my studio recording my radio show. My name is Corey, I live in England, and this is my story.
America saw the outbreak after New York, D.C., Chicago, L.A., and Denver got wiped out. The infection came south. I'm staring out my fifth-story window. I can see hundreds, if not more, of infected bodies roaming around the streets of Austin. I'm a DJ for WZLP in Austin, Texas. There's nobody left in the studio except for me. My name is Matt Grudge. I live in Austin, Texas. This is my story.
transmitting? Are we transmitting? Point the camera at me. Point it at me. Just roll. Okay, things are out of control down below. The city of Los Angeles is like a war zone. These creatures, these zombies or whatever the hell they are swarming the city. People are dying in the streets by the thousands. And the freeways, right now the freeways are hopelessly clogged. There is no way out of the city. We had to come up here to the Hollywood Hills just to find some refuge. I think we're safe for the moment, but I'm not going to stay long. Right now, the LAPD has pulled out of South Central Los Angeles entirely and is trying to form a defensive perimeter around Beverly Hills. But I don't know how they're going to stop these things. If you're hearing me, stay away from Los Angeles. The city is out of control. The city is lost. Avoid Los Angeles at all.
Take you back to breaking news in Kingstown in Alexandria. Right now, police are on the scene of a confirmed zombie attack.
Okay, are we broadcasting? Yeah? Okay, we're coming to you live from Columbus, Ohio. Both the city center and nearby urban areas are being evacuated with the aid of United States military personnel. As I stand here at the Outer Belt Highway I-71 interchange, I can see women, children, and the elderly all struggling to vacate the city, which, since looting and rioting are now widespread, is now under martial law.
With hope, we can persevere. Without it, we shall surely crumble. Stare up at the sky. Sun's beating down today. These vile creatures have dispersed, as they do at certain times during the day. I wander across the road to the garage, constantly looking around to make sure I don't get jumped. This garage is my supply base. And I noticed that this morning I was a bit low on water. I head towards the wooden board covering an opening in the glass that I had smashed a few days earlier. That caused a bit of a commotion, I can tell you. I just about made it back to my house in one piece. As I approach the board, I see a piece of paper being blown down the road. I pick it up and I see it's a poem. I have no idea who wrote it or if they're still of this world, but the words fit perfectly with my situation. Sweeping through the concrete jungles, causing misery and pain. Mankind was not prepared for this. It's driving us insane. Brother turns on brother. No discrimination in this disease. I hear the sounds of the fallen, their cries carried on the breeze. And as I stare with sadness deep, I feel alone and unprepared. Our world has crumbled into an abyss. I'm vulnerable and very scared. Dig deep and find some hope, they say. It's hard, but I must try. If I lose hope and concede my life to it, then I will surely die.
I pull the curtain to one side so that I can take a look in the back garden. There it was, snarling, scrabbling at the window with its dirty, rotting hands, flesh hanging from its face. I could see that the fence at the bottom of the garden was broken. I remember hearing a loud noise last night, but chose to ignore it. I can now see into the fields beyond. The noise this creature is making appears to be attracting more of them. I close the curtain and sit on the sofa. I can't stop trembling. I get up and walk into the kitchen, moving towards the window, which is covered in a Venezuelan blind. I slowly pull one of the slats down, fearing another face will be pressed against the window. To my relief, it is clear. I see one of those things run up the middle of the street. It's so fast and hunched over. More follow, and I wonder what it has attracted them. Then I hear a high-pitched scream of a woman, her cries quickly getting lower until there was nothing apart from these creatures, feasting on her flesh. I let the slat slip down and stare at the floor. I've never been so scared in my life. Why isn't anybody helping us?
I was out gathering water, a slow process as I had to keep stopping to hide from these things. I noticed that most of the shops have been looted, but there was still enough tinned food to keep me going for a while. Bizarrely, the cash registers in the shops were empty. Why people would think money was useful in these dark times is beyond me. I wait for the last pack of infected to run by. They had been attracted by a woman screaming. Stepping out of the ransacked shop, I gazed down the road and observed them biting and tearing at her body. It won't be too long before she is part of their horde, roaming the streets for more victims. I look across the road and at a house and see a young teenage girl peering through the blinds of her window. She lets the slat drop down and does not notice me staring at her. Before I have a chance to make sure she's safe, I hear more infected heading in my direction. I make a note of her door number and I will return later when it's safer. The infected tend to be less active when night falls, though there still are risks, one of the main ones being lack of street lighting, so it's harder to see. I scamper down the side of the shop and head back towards my house. I have 2 bottles of water and 8 tins of food. It is all I'm able to carry. The weight of the supplies slow me down, so I hope I won't bump into any of the infected.
I think back to the evacuation point. There was one last space on the truck heading south. I gazed across at the female holding her young baby. The soldier put his arm out to me. I was next in line. I gazed at the floor and stepped back to allow the woman and her baby to take my place. The soldier helped them up. He looked back at me and saluted. As the truck pulled away, I turned and squeezed my way through the panic. That's why I'm still here. I wonder how many of us are still healthy. Thanks for tuning in for the pilot episode of the Survivor Journals. Tune in next week for episode 1.